Hey guys, in this video, I'm gonna show you something I do in my kitchen a lot, but it really helps getting homemade meals on the table quicker. So here's a little tip that I do at home. So what I'll do is I'll get a parboil on my veggies, which basically, it's actually kind of a par steam because I don't boil them, I actually steam them. But what I'll do is I'll like half cook them. So they're just in my fridge ready to go when I'm doing a last minute meal, which I usually am because we're all busy. So here's something cool that I do at home that hopefully can help you guys. So these are some basic veggies I always have in my fridge. Broccoli, carrots, zucchini, green beans. They're all super sturdy and I love having them in my fridge. So check this out. Broccoli. So with your broccoli, don't throw away your stalk. So cut the end off. Now the stalks are pretty tough to work with. So you want to get the really thick skin off. And you guys, protect your hands, please. Be really, really careful. But there are so many incredible nutrients in the broccoli stalk. My grandmother is the one as a kid who was like, do not throw out your broccoli stalks. And of course, my mom always has an incredible way of cooking them. So don't throw them out, and they're super yummy. So then once you get the hard skin off, just peel it. And it's like this beautiful green under there. It's like translucent. Oh, it's so pretty. But here is the thing. Your broccoli shavings, for some reason, the shavings on the stalk, they really smell bad. So when you put them in, tie up the bag or whatever you're putting these in, because later you'll be like, what is happening? And these are really delicious. They'll pick up whatever flavor you're cooking with. They add crunch. See how pretty that is? So now what I like to do is I'll just cut them in like a little diagonal. So I'll just have them in these pretty little diagonals. And then we'll do a little quick steam on those, put them in some ice water, and they're ready to toss into any dish that you want. They're so pretty. Let's get the rest of these done. So this stalk is pretty small, but it's thick, so let's use it. Things like this, like having your vegetables partially cooked in your fridge, again, anything that helps me get a homemade meal on the table quicker is what I'm all about. Because we're all busy at the end of the day, you know, we're tired and, you know, I have 2 young kiddos, so you really want to try to streamline your time in the kitchen. I tend to do this little diagonal cut because I think it looks really pretty. Great, so there's those. Now we're gonna get to our florets. So I'm sure you guys have worked with broccoli florets a ton. So we're just gonna quickly get these ready. So I usually like them to be like, you know, 1.5 inches. That's like a good size. Versatile for anything you really wanna use them for. So what I'll do is I'll just hold the top and you can see where the different stalks go. You can just cut right at the base and they just fall apart into the different pieces. And then if they're too big, like this one, do a little cut in half. Perfect. If I'm also doing a crudité or crudité, as my mom says, because you guys know she's fancy. If you're doing a crudité, what I'll do is I'll actually leave the stalk on a little bit, peel it. Again, these little elevations for your food. Peel that. And then after you do the par steam on this, you put them like that on your little plate when they're all together. And then you can easily pick it up and then dip. Carrots I love, super sturdy. Having a quick steam on these saves a lot of time, and carrots are really sturdy when they're not fully cooked. I find that if they're like half cooked, they last longer in my fridge, and they're so much more versatile. That's why I like the half cook. When they're half cooked, they're a lot more versatile to use in different dishes. If they're fully cooked, I find that they kind of lose their versatility. Here we go. Swipe right. I don't know, my friends who online date, apparently swiping right means it's the good one. Swipe right is the good swipe. Swipe left apparently is the bad swipe. I'm not sure. I think that's the case though. So again, I'm gonna cut these into my little diamond shapes because they look like little jewels and they're really pretty. I'm just mowing through this because you guys have seen me do this a ton. So normally what I would do is I would keep the pretty tip on, but these particular green beans, they're not looking great. So we're gonna chop off both ends. So let's do that. These are not from the farmer's market. They are organic, but they're not from the farmer's market. Handled. now they look good and fresh. Okay. So I've shown you guys this before. Put a little pile, take your knife, move it all so they're all at one level. Watch your fingies. Flip it around. Butt all the ends up to the blade. Hold it. Watch your fingies. And now, see how much better that looks? So zucchini cooks pretty quickly. So I'm going to cut them in a little bigger chunk because these actually cook really quickly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our steamer ready. I like steaming versus boiling for this particular thing because I feel like I can control the temperature better. And I just find that the consistency, I just like it better. So, but we are going to blanch them. Like we are going to put them, we're going to heat, cook a little bit, and then put them in ice water into an ice bath. So it's a version of blanching. Okay, let's do it. Let's get the water going. I like to put a little bit of baking soda in the water because it makes the color pop. So let's do that. So we have our boiling water. I put about a half a teaspoon of baking soda into the water because it really helps the colors pop. That was a trick my mom taught me. So now let's just start with the broccoli. So this happens really quickly. So in about a minute, I'm gonna give it a little stir, and in about another minute, this will be done. So look at how pretty this is. The vibrant green, it's beautiful. So another way that I test these out is a really sharp knife. You can just pierce through, and this is basically done. These are perfect. You want some of that resistance because you don't want them to be fully cooked through yet. So this is perfect. Scoop them out. If you have another steamer with handles, you can just lift it out, but my steamer is one of these little flower ones that opens, so I don't have that. So I have to do it this way. So now we're gonna put this into some ice water. That's great, so it shocks the vegetables and it stops them from cooking. Great. Now, broccoli's done. Let's go to the next vegetable. So into this same water, we're just gonna do all the vegetables. Next is carrots. Carrots cook very quickly, so I'm gonna check these in about 30 seconds. Sharp knife, pierce it through, and check the consistency. That'll tell me how well it's cooked. But I know the carrots cook quickly, so in about 30 seconds, we're gonna check it. I like doing all my vegetables separate because I use them for different things and because they cook at different times. So if you cook them all together, that wouldn't really be ideal. So this is just how I do it, and it makes my life a lot easier when I'm reimagining them into other meals. Okay, we're gonna let that cook a little more. But it's so easy. So now this is great. They're already partially cooked, which is gonna cut down my cook time when I'm using them into other meals. They look beautiful. Broccoli is so versatile. I could throw this into omelets. I could throw this into a saute. I can throw this into a meatloaf, into a stir fry, into anything. When I use this in meatloaf, I'll chop it down really small. But because it already is partially cooked, I know that when it's cooking in the oven with the meat, it'll be great. So this kind of stuff, these little tricks are very helpful. Okay, this is perfect. Out come the carrots. Shock them in the water. Put that to stop cooking. Perfect. Look at how pretty that looks. Alrighty. Next, the baking soda is a trick that my mom taught me as a kid. And I've done side-by-side comparisons and it really does make the color pop. So I've just been doing that since I was a youngin'. The green beans take a little bit longer. So those are going to be in there for about a minute before I check it. Bogey. Okay, great. These are done. Oh my gosh. I love having prepped vegetables in the fridge. Okay, last ones. These are gonna cook quickly. Okay. So we're gonna take those out in like 30 seconds. Okay, so these are done. And you can do this with a ton of different vegetables that you have. These are just staples that I always have in my fridge. Check this out. So now we have all of these half prepped veggies that are totally ready to go into anything that'll work for you, like omelets, sautés, stir fries, soups, frittatas, protein dishes, pasta dishes, like whatever. These are all here ready to go. And again, anything that cuts down my cook time when I'm trying to get a homemade meal on the table is what I'm all about. I really am so stoked to share this with you guys. I hope this helps, and I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you know when I put up a new one, and I'll see you guys next time.